Hello guys, welcome to another lesson and a new lesson that we are going to learn about a new country. And the country we're going to learn about is the country of England. Can you say that? England, yes. Let's review where we live and the continent we live on, and then we're going to find where England is on the world map. So here we have our map. Now we know what continent do we live on? If you said North America, you are correct. And the country we live in is the United States. So we live up here in the Northwest. And then we learned about Peru last week, which was in South America. And the country of Peru was right here. Now, do you remember what ocean was next to us? Yes, the Pacific Ocean is correct. Now, if we were to find the country of England, we would have to go across America and we would have to go across this ocean right here, which is called the Atlantic Ocean. Can you say Atlantic Ocean? Good, Atlantic Ocean. And then the country of England is right over here. Now let me get a bigger map of England that you can see. If I were to zoom in, it would be right here. Now England is on an island. It's on the bottom part here, and there are other countries that are in England, but an island is surrounded by water, so England is on an island. So let's go ahead and learn about England today. So listen carefully, and we're going to find out about someone who lives in England. So today, we will travel to the other side of the world. We will cross the Atlantic Ocean and visit a country in Europe. So how do you think we will have to cross the ocean? If you said by boat, you'd be correct, or if you said by plane, you would be correct as well. Because can you drive a car across the ocean? No, you can't. So we are going to go to a new continent, which is Europe. Europe is the area that is all in green right here. This is the continent of Europe. And then in Europe is the country of England. And if you didn't know, the continent of Europe is one of the smallest continents in the world. The only one that is smaller is the continent of Australia. So listen carefully as we learn about England and who lives there. So we're going to fly in our imaginary plane all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to Europe. So pretend we're flying across, and there's the ocean, and then, oh, there's the island where England is on, and there it is. Edward is a boy that lives in England. England is on a large island, which is part of the continent of Europe. Islands have water all around them. Now, when we see Great Britain and England and Great Britain, that's the same place. They have two names, we can call them. So let's look at the picture. We have Edward. Edward lives in a place called London. As you can see, here is the island here, and then right here in red is England, and in England is the main city of London where Edward lives. All these other places here are other countries, Scotland and Wales. So there we have our country of England. Now let's learn about Edward. Edward lives in London, the capital city and the largest city in England. In fact, London is one of the largest cities in the world. After Edward meets us at the airport, we will take a ride in the tube to get to his house. Now, the tube is a train that goes under the ground. In America, we call these underground trains subways. Soon, we get out of the tube near Edward's home. As we walk along the street, we notice that the people, cars, and houses look very much like the people, cars, and houses in America. Edward warns us to watch out when we cross the street. People in England don't drive on the same side of the street as American drivers. They drive on the other side, just as some other countries do. So, there are many exciting places to visit in England. Let's take a look at that. So they are going to visit the zoo, the oldest zoo in the world, and that zoo is the London Zoo. The London Zoo began in 1828, and people began to visit it as an official zoo in 1931. Edward wants us to be able to see all of London, so he is going to take us for a ride on the London Eye, a giant Ferris wheel. So here's the London Eye, and that way you can see all of London at once from very high. Now, from the top, we can see many of the exciting sights of London. So, Edward is very excited that we have come to England at this time of the year. Tomorrow is the celebration of Queen Elizabeth's birthday, and Edward has planned to take us to see Buckingham Palace, where the Queen lives. We also hope to see Queen Elizabeth as she rides down the street in a parade. Tomorrow will be an exciting day. So, look at the picture here of Queen Elizabeth. This is Queen Elizabeth and her husband, and this is her grandson, Prince William. Prince William may be the King of England someday. So she's the queen, and they are the rulers, some of the rulers. Now, we don't have kings and queens in the United States. We have a president, and our president, President Trump, he makes decisions and leads our country. And the person that's kind of like a president in England would be called the Prime Minister. Can you say Prime Minister? Yes, he's like the president in England. So we've got the king or queen in England. Right now it's Queen Elizabeth. And so let's look and see what we can remember about England and ask you some questions. So let's go ahead and see our paper today. Our paper today is page 87 and 88. Go ahead and take out a pencil and some crayons, and I'm going to read the instructions. Please always write your name at the top, and then I will read the instructions. It says, Edward lives in London, England. He is dressed the way boys in England used to dress. London is one of the largest cities in the world. So as you can see, London has some beautiful gardens, so please color the garden area. And look at the map. We've got the picture of England and the map here, and then there's Edward. And Edward is dressed how they used to dress in the olden days, and so we're gonna look and see how he is dressed. He's got a hat on, so a blue jacket and a vest, a tie, shorts, and shoes with some socks. So go ahead and color his outfit as he would have worn it when we visited him in England. So go ahead and do that. And then on the back, it says, the people crowd the streets of London to see Queen Elizabeth. She drives at Buckingham Palace. The guards protect the palace. So as you can see, this is where the Queen lives, Buckingham Palace. And this is the band that will probably be in the parade for her birthday. And then here is a picture of the guard and the hats and the uniform, the red coats that they wear. Then at the bottom is a picture of Queen Elizabeth and the royal family. So here we have Queen Elizabeth, her husband, her grandson William, his wife, and also Prince Harry. So here is a picture of them. And go ahead and finish that. But before you go, I'm going to see how well you remembered what we learned today. Let's ask some questions. What ocean did we cross to get to England? Do you remember the name of that ocean? Starts with an A. It's the Atlantic Ocean. Yes, Atlantic Ocean. Why is England called an island? That's right, because it is surrounded by water. There's water all around. And who is England's ruler? Do you remember her name? Yes, it's Queen Elizabeth. And what is the underground train called in England? Remember, it's like a subway here in the United States, but they call it what? The tube, that's right. Great job. Now let's think about this before we go. Would you find an island in the middle of a continent or in the middle of an ocean? So where would you find an island? Would it be in the middle of a continent or ocean? If you said in the middle of the ocean, you would be correct. The middle of a continent is land, so it would not be an island in that case. So yes, in the middle of the ocean. All right, guys. Well, it's good seeing you, and please join us and keep tuned in because we are going to learn more about the country of England in our next lesson. And until then, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.